Christmas, everyone. I hope everyone's having a good one. Oh, I had a few Christmas drinks last night and I'm feeling a little bit funny. I don't really drink much these days, but when I do, I end up with an absolutely nightmare of a headache the next day. So anyway, what better way to solve this than to attempt a challenge? And this challenge is kind of another one that Sarah set me, one of these distance ones. The last one I did was on the e-bike, where she said, if you can get your e-bike over to a certain area, probably pushing its range a little bit, then you can meet me for lunch and then we can stick the car in the back and you can come home. So I don't know where she comes up with these things, but basically there's a parcel which is about 50 miles away at one of the local hubs. It's not really local, is it? It's like 50 miles away. But basically I've got to go and get it. Sarah's out today, so she's taken the car. So as usual over Christmas we've got quite a lot of plans. They can't deliver it to our new address, it's gone to our old address, so I've got to go and get it. So we're looking, guys, at a 100-mile trip in the Twizy, 100-mile round trip, so 50 miles either way. So we're going to have to stop multiple times for charging. And bearing in mind my last video, you're probably thinking I'm insane, but I think I just need a lot of luck. Hopefully I'll be able to do it. The weather's not particularly great today either, so it's not going to be the funnest of drives, but we're going to attempt it, and then hopefully I'll get back here at a sensible time with the parcel in question. First thing I need is this. Right, I'm not going to take any chances. I'm going to take this just in case I get stuck. Always rely on the boosted board. Right guys, let the adventure begin. I've got 31 miles, which is a bit concerning because my first leg of my trip is 30 miles. And I've got, 99% and everything else on there. So that's all looking good. And I've got backup plans. I've got a long extension lead in the back. I've got my boosted board in there as well. Oh, what am I doing, guys? What am I doing? Alright, it's gone up to about 36. This is one of the handy things about having a little car, guys. Just zip through the little gaps. Regen's just starting to kick in now. Now we're about 93%. The interesting one, as we approach the dual carriageway, watch this thing probably just deteriorate massively as we're trying to keep with the flow of traffic. Right guys, so after, I don't know how many miles I've done so far, but just cruising along about 50 miles an hour, and this meter was going up about as high as 38 miles at one point, so seems not bad. I'm in eco mode as well, but 50 miles an hour is kind of fine. I'm getting a bit of spray with that flipping van up there, that lorry out there. Right, stuck in traffic again, saying 26 miles. I think I've got about 16 to go. Right, cut. It's the next day. I didn't make it. I actually bailed on the journey, guys. It was a bit of a nightmare. Basically, the thing I was supposed to be going to get was actually a parcel, and it was actually in the, well, it was 50 miles away, as I said. It turns out that the company that sent the parcel actually said it was in the depot, but it got resent out again to our old address. So, apart from anything else, so first of all, it was looking like the traffic was really bad. So I thought, oh, I don't know, and it was looking like it was going to be tight to my first charge point. So what I did was just swing into Braintree town quickly, which is about 3 or 4 miles from where I was at the last clip. I think I was in traffic, and yeah, just basically put the car in charge, and tried to get a little bit of charge in there. And at that point, it was charging really slowly. So I just thought, nah, I'm going to bail on this. Then I found out that obviously the parcel wasn't where it said it was going to be anyway. So that kind of didn't work out. But anyway, to try and resume this vlog, I'm back out again today. I'm going to get some last minute Christmas bits, just loads of food and odds and sods. So it's probably going to be a nightmare out. And yeah, let's go. One thing that always catches me out with this car is when it's fully charged, there's no regen braking. So when you first kind of come out the road, what you're used to is just kind of tapping the throttle. Don't think it's variable regen. So when you tap the throttle, you basically get your regen braking, which turns on. And obviously the battery percentage is higher, like 100% or 99, well, I think it's down to 90, you basically don't get regen braking, so you end up kind of feeling like, oh, the brakes don't work. Because you've really got to stamp on these brakes, because they're not, as I said before, they're not assisted. That's what I was talking about, that's the high current. Oh, feels good. Also, the other day, when I came back, I was actually on like about 10% charge, and so when I got back home, I put the car on charge, and battery temperature, I mean, it took about 3 hours to fully charge again, but the battery temperature went up to about 25 degrees, which is nothing really to worry about, but I think just because it was charging for such a period of time, obviously the BMS was working and everything else, but it was saying about 25 degrees on the power box. And then I popped out again to the shops, just popped down the road. Because the battery temperature was quite warm, the power was crazy different to what it is when it's, you know, in the sort of low towards zeros, which is what it has been. It's more similar to the temperature it was when I actually first ever put the power box in. So it's quite interesting that how it makes a lot of difference. I'm really looking forward to the summer. This is from about 30 mile an hour. It's pretty cool. It's quicker from 0 to 30 than it is anything else, but it is pretty amazing. Guys, I'm flying. Here we are. Just what you want to be doing just before Christmas. At least you can have some fun while doing it though. Abiding by all speed signs, of course. Parking spot. 70%. That's what happens if you hoon it. Whoa. It's a bit warmer today though, which is good. I need my bag. Didn't need the seated heat pad today. Seated heat pad. I'm not going to vlog in there because I ain't going to be able to concentrate if I do that. It's chaos already. It's only Thursday. What else do I need? Washing powder. Right guys, so now I've got to fit that lot in there. Think about these things, don't I? I only realised the other day you can actually pull this seat forward and it actually gives you quite a bit of space in the back. A bit dirty in there. So back with about 50% battery then guys. That is what happens if you absolutely hoon it around and just have no regard for like economy whatsoever. A bit like what you do in a petrol car really, if you absolutely, you know, cane it around. But the Twizy is just so much fun with the power box. You know, you just got to utilise that extra power. And it's kind of like if you want to do one of these long range things, you've got to, you know, hold back on the power, don't you know, accelerate too strongly. But realistically, it's not practical because to get the most out of the range of the car, you've got to go 30 mile an hour. Which is fine if you're on 30 mile an hour roads, but you know, if you're on a dual carriageway, realistically you're just not going to get the distance. So it's starting to become obvious that kind of really long journeys are not going to be possible on dual carriageway. Also, the temperature of the motor rises as well quite rapidly if you're in one of the higher power modes and you're, you know, trying to keep up with 60 mile an hour traffic. The best way to do it would be to just sit in the inside lane at 50 mile an hour and just get behind a lorry or something like that and just poodle along behind it. Because the car isn't really designed to be doing kind of, you know, 60 or 70 mile an hour continuous down a dual carriageway. What it really shines on though is back roads, and flying around back roads is just, it's just the best fun ever. And the acceleration, you know, when you see roundabouts and stuff like that coming up, you just think, yeah, you know, it's like you actually get excited by roundabouts, which just doesn't happen if you're in a kind of normal car. So I think long range challenges are going to be out of the picture because, you know, I just don't want to be doing them slowly until I get a larger battery, which I'm starting to look at now. I've managed to find some pretty good information thanks to some guys that have commented below on the previous videos, and yeah, thanks guys for that. It's really interesting stuff finding out what other people have been doing. One guy's you know, put some lead acid batteries in as an experiment, a proof of concept, you know, and actually fit lead acid batteries, 100 amp hours of lead acid batteries in the bottom of the car, and it runs, you know, just to show the concept of like the BMS and everything else, and then later replaced it with Nissan Leaf cells. So there's a lot of stuff going on with this little car, and I'm just scratching the surface. So the next step is to find out what the best option is going to be, whether it's to, you know, buy the battery from Renault and, you know, strip it down, take the cells out and just do it that way so you've got all the components, or go in hard and just buy all the individual components for the battery, which somebody has listed very nicely on a GitHub page, believe it or not, which is good. But it just shows how all these things linked to with software and hardware and everything else. So yeah, you could acquire all the bits for the battery and just basically, you know, make a battery yourself. It's going to cost quite a bit. You know, you're looking at probably €1,000 just for all the pieces without the cells. So, you know, it might be better just to buy the actual battery if you can. I haven't even entered that conversation yet, but I've tackled similar things before, and it's all to do with contracts, and you just got to find the right person, and hopefully you'll be able to get around the system, as it were. So yeah, I totally think it's possible. As I say, the guy that actually created the power box has replaced his original battery with lithium-ion cells, which doubles the capacity. It's lithium-ion to start with, but I think he's managed to cram in a lot more cells, 1,100 cells roughly, I believe. So it's like a 79p pack, 15S 79p, which is just bonkers. But so I'm going to be looking to him for some information and inspiration on how to do that battery. Apparently he's actually copied Tesla's design and used fuses on each cell, so very small, joining the cells by very thin, almost like fuse wire. I don't really understand it completely, but I think it's fuse wire. So if anything happens with a cell, it just basically blows the fuse, and then you're just going to save that parallel string from starting a fire or anything else, which is really neat. The charging system is all great. I mean, there's no real need to change that. Obviously, if you make a bigger battery, it's going to take a lot longer to charge. But as I've said before, that's not a problem. So yeah, it's really exciting stuff, guys. Anyway, guys, I hope you're having a great Christmas, and it's everything that you wanted it to be. Spending time with family and friends and all that sort of stuff, and yeah, let us know in the comments. But other than that, I'm not sure if there's going to be a video before the new year. If not, Happy New Year as well, and I'll see you in the next video, guys.